still live at 1 minute. Authentication problem.
What's the authentication problem?
That's what I was running into before. Indians Football Network from Shaler Titans Stadium. Shaler to kick off today to the Penn Hills Indians, traveling on a Saturday afternoon. It's homecoming here at Shaler. Indians coming into tonight's contest after losing last Friday night to the Pine Richland Rams, and Shaler starts off with an onside kick.
Onside kick attempted.
And it appears the Indians have it, and that they do. The Indians ball at their own 40-yard line, so they will get to start off in great field position.
First and 10, Penn Hills from their own 40.
Before we even get started, the Indians with a motion penalty will lose 5 yards, start off at a 1st and 15.
Offsides on Shaler. First and 5 now for Penn Hills.
Yeah. Wide receiver screen this way. Hardy puts the head down.
Mathis pass complete to Hardy. Picked up by Kilgore.
And on a 1st and 5, the Indians pick up a few yards.
Gain of 3.
A gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Indians. And another penalty flag comes in. And it looks like there's going to be a sideline warning here against the Indians. Or will it be? I see all the Indians in the blue on the sideline. Not sure what the sideline warning was for, unless it's for the coaches. Mathis in the shotgun. Tank behind him. It's going to be play action. Rolls to his right. Screen back the other way. Mason will have the first down in Shaler territory across the 35. Go down about the 33-yard line. 19-yard pickup and a first down for the Indians.
First and 10, Penn Hills. Number 33 is Shaler.
Beautiful field here at Shaler Stadium. New field turf put in, much like what we have at UHAS McGinley Stadium. Mathis down the sideline, has a man, touchdown, Daquan Hardy. 33 yards to Hardy. The Indians go up by 6. 3 plays, 3 passes. Indians go 60 yards and get on the board first.
On to attempt the extra point.
Tank Smith to try to point after, and they're going to fake it. High snap, call the fire. And they're going to pull Smith down by the helmet.
2-point conversion attempt is no good.
Conversion fails. And with 10:30 to go here in the opening period, it's Penn Hills 6, Shaler nothing on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. So the Indians go 60 yards in 3 plays. And they're up 6-0. Shane Meyer, the usual kicker, had a soccer game today. Short kickoff, taken at the 25-yard line. Indians are there. Brian Colarusso with the return for Shaler. And the Titans get the ball for the first time in this game. 24 years of doing television for the Penn Hills Indians. This is our first time coming to Shaler High School. Been pretty much everywhere else. Yeah, personal foul will tack on 15 yards. So it should move the ball out to the 48-yard line. Shaler comes into this contest with a record of 0-4, 0-2 in the conference. Lost last week to North Allegheny, 55-7. Also lost to Norwin Central Catholic and North Hills. Shaler, flea flicker, has a man up the sideline and the passer unable to connect. Man was there. Jake Pollock. They seem to have had the Indians fooled.
Second and 10 from the 49.
Pollock the sidecar. Shaler will throw once again. Pass too high on the near side for DC. Quarterback Hunter Zakowski had him, but just brought the pass in a little too high. And it'll bring up a second down for the Titans. Or it should be third down. 3rd and 10 for Shaler. Ball at the Indian 49-yard line. Shaler in danger of possibly wasting some great field position. Once again, Shaler to throw. Haven't had a running pass yet this game. And some incidental contact downfield. I don't see a penalty flag. DC, the intended receiver, it appeared they had gotten their feet a little tangled up. Actually, a good non-call by the officials. And then they'll bring a 4th down for Shaler. The ball at the 49-yard line. I think if you're the Indians, you're watching for the fake on this play. Shaler does indeed kick it. Boomer, fair catch made and called for and made by Anthony Grimes. And the Indians will take over at their own 15-yard line. 10:02 to go, first quarter. Penn Hills 6, Shaler nothing. You're watching the Indians Football Network. First running play of the game, either team. Tank out to about the 20-yard line, picks up about 4 yards. And a penalty flag in the backfield.
Flag on the play.
I'm going to call holding on Roland Phillips.
Personal foul called on Penn Hills.
Oh, personal foul. Back to about the 7-yard line, half the distance to the goal. About a 9-yard penalty.
First and 21.
Tank again looks for somewhere to go. Shaler stretches it out. Tank looking to turn the corner, unable to. Gets across the 10. Loses the football. They're going to roll him down at the 13-yard line. So pick up about 4.
Harwick with the tackle on the play. Second and 15.
Mathis will throw. Looks this way. Has a man. Pass complete. Cephas, not sure if he really picked up any yardage. Maybe about 3 yards. Now the Indians faced with a 3rd down. Indians very quickly on their opening possession took 3 plays, went 60 yards.
3rd down and 9.
We're going up 6-0. That's where we stand. Talk about 8.5 minutes ago here in quarter number 1. Mathis will throw again. Well, looks like he had a lane. Run. We'll pick up the 1st down and more. Across the 30. 1 man to beat across the 40. Mathis using the speed. At the 50. Mathis is gone. Across the 30. 20. 10. Touchdown, Penn Hills. Hollis Mathis, 83 yards on the scramble. And the Indians extend the lead. Mathis was looking at his receivers, was checking off. A penalty flag back at the 44-yard line. I don't know if they saw. Was there even an Indian in that area? Okay. All right. Well, Bernard Mathis, our cameraman up here in the booth, saying it was a good call. Even though it takes a touchdown away from his kid.
Offsetting personal foul.
Well, Mathis will get credit for 40 yards. And a penalty will mark him back 10.
Shaler calls a timeout.
And Shaler uses a timeout. 8:21 to go, first quarter. Penn Hills 6, Shaler nothing. You're watching the Indians Football Network. So following the mishmash of what was going on, the Indians will have the ball at their own 47-yard line. Tank behind Hollis, and it'll be Tank. Gets across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Gain of 4.
With the ball carrier. Tackle by Rich Foley.
So for those of you joining us on YouTube, we appreciate you checking in on today's contest between the Penn Hills Indians and the Shaler Titans. Indians with 10 seconds left on the play clock have twins to the near side. It's Hardy and Cephas. Mathis, straight drop, looking over the middle, has a man downfield, Cephas, and he lost the football. Cephas was incredibly wide open, a rare drop for Dante. He did have to come back for the ball. It did kind of hit him at the waistline. But Dante knows that's one he should have had, and that would have been 6. But the Indians live to fight another day. It's 3rd and 6. Clock will stop with 7:30 to go. Sun shining right on the scoreboard. Very difficult to make those numbers out. Pitch to Tank. Shaler's there, and he's going to go down at the 40-yard line for a loss of 9. So the Indians punt team's going to have to take the field. The Shaler defense did its job. I don't know if the Indians' offense trying to be a little too fancy by half. Well, the Indians had a touchdown called back in this drive.
Penn Hills in punt formation with Pollock in to receive.
I think the Indians have 12 men out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Further substitution on Penn Hills.
Jaden Terry to kick, and it's blocked. Indians recover it at the 32-yard line. Shaler will get the ball there. Big break for Shaler. They came running. On the rush. Caught into Jaden Terry. The lineman, number 75, doing the punting today.
From the Penn Hills 32.
Shaler will have it at their Indian 32. Devin Best in at middle linebacker for the Indians. Move the defensive end. And Shaler will get to the outside inside the 25, chased out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Mason will pull him down out of bounds. Jake Pollock, the ball carrier, will check the penalty flag. Holding call against Shaler. Gonna mark it off in the spot of the foul there at the 20-yard, at the end of the play at the 20-yard line. So Pollock will get credit for a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 1st and 8.
First and 8 now for the Titans.
Shaler throwing, launching one towards the end zone. They have a man and through the hands of Mike Battaglia. Rick Martin on the coverage for the Indians. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. Clock will stop with 6:12 to go here in this opening quarter. Kowski on the bootleg. Tank on the tackle. Get down to the 24-yard line, picks up 6. That'll be a 3rd down and 2. Kowski on an empty set. And Shaler jumped. Tight end on the left side, went just ahead of the snap. So 3rd and 2 now becomes 3rd and 7.
7 now for the Titans.
Now, one of the questions you don't ask too often at a football game is, did you bring sunscreen? And an unusually hot September afternoon here in Western PA. Sikowski takes the high snap, rolls to his right, throws as a man underneath. Pass complete inside the 20, 10, 5, first and goal for the Titans down at the 4-yard line. Jake Pollock took the reception. Was open in the flat and rumbled 20 yards. And Shaler's now knocking on the door. First and goal from the 3. Titans in the power I. Somebody still runs it. And the Indians have 12 men on the field again. Yes, they do.
First and goal from the 2.
Now the Indians have 10 men on the field. Sikowski fumbled a snap. The Indians recovered at the 1-yard line. I believe it was Elijah Robinson. Number 60 with the recovery on the fumbled snap. Elijah Robinson, number 60. Indians ball at the 1. Tank over the line. 1, maybe 2 yards.
With the ball carrier, tackled by Aversa. Gain of 2, second and 8.
Tim Smith goes right side. Shaler stacks him up. And the Indians with a 3rd and 8 from the 3. Clock rolling under 4 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Mathis rolling to his left, sets up underneath. Cephas at the 11, bobbles it, pushed out of bounds. It will have a first down just shy of the 15-yard line. And the Indians get the first down. Clock will stop for the moment.
First and 10, Penn Hills from their own 15.
Right side, Sears for about 5.
Sears the ball carrier, tackled by Kramer. Number 2, second and 8.
2nd and 8 Indians. Ball at their own 17-yard line. Drive started at their own 1. Mathis, play action, rolls to his right, throws back that way, underneath Martin. Across the 30, has some blockers in front, goes out of bounds. They're going to mark him at the 31. 14 yards for Rick Martin. And it looks like there's a penalty flag back at the 21. This could be holding against the Indians. So that negates the pass play. The Indians will be marked back. Let's lose about 6 yards on the penalty. And Martin does get credit for the 4-yard reception. But the Indians do replay the down. Be Sears again behind Hollis Mathis. Equipment problem on the Indians. George Freeman. Officials give up, send him off. Can't get the chin strap buckled. And Harrison Bash comes in. Again, Sears behind Mathis. And it'll be Sears. And Shaler will stack him up at the line. Coming in is Noah Woods. And another penalty flag. Personal foul against Shaler will tack on 15 yards. Should be good enough for an Indian first down. And it is.
First and 10, Penn Hills from their own 27.
Indians now at their own 27, 1st and 10. Tim Smith behind Mathis. Pressure from behind, swing pass out to Tim, has some blockers in front in a lane. Smith across the 40, the 50, has one man to beat in the secondary, the quarterback who's unable to pull him down from behind, and Tim Smith goes to 73 yards for a touchdown, and it looks like they're going to bring this one back again. Penalty flag at the 46-yard line. So Smith's going to get credit for the 19-yard reception, and then they're going to mark off 10 yards from there. So that's 2 touchdowns called back already here in this opening quarter. Both touchdowns by the Indians. So the penalty will mark them back to the 36. Penalty was far enough downfield that the walk-off still gave the Indians a first down. So Tank rumbles ahead for about 6. 2nd down and 4 Indians. Clock at 1.5 and ticking here in quarter number 1. Penn Hills 6, Shaler nothing. Indians scored on their opening drive. Daquan Hardy hauled in a 33-yarder from Mathis. Indians went 3 plays, 60 yards, all in the air. Mathis again. Launching one down the near side, has a man wide open. And the Grimes pulled in. Are they going to give him the catch? Yes, they are. Anthony Grimes hauls it in at the 35-yard line. 23 yards. Grimes was wide open.
First and 10, Penn Hills from the Shaler 35.
Indians pistol formation. Tank deep. Donnie blue to Mathis is right. He'll stay in and block. Mathis throws one downfield. Has Hardy. Touchdown, Penn Hills. Hardy's second of the game for 35 yards. And the Indians strike again. I think the Indians will go for two. They've had some kicking problems here. They're going to try to kick it again. Well, they will go for two. Mathis is out there. Officials reset the play clock. Mathis has Grimes split to the right. Hardy to the left. Shuttle pass. Inside, it's good. Mason with the conversion, and the Indians go up 14-0 over Shaler. With 1:06 to go here in the opening quarter, you're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. That was a 99-yard drive for the Indians. Kickoff to the 20-yard line. And a nice return out across the 35 to the 37. Was Wegner.
Now with the tackle.
Indians go 99 yards in 10 plays. And chew up almost 4 minutes. Pollock goes left side into the Indian secondary, stays on his feet. Rick Martin finally pushes him out of bounds in Indian territory at the 46-yard line. Darren Mizgorski, new quarterback in for Shaler. $17-yard pickup and a first down for Jake Pollock, the junior running back. Under a minute here in the opening quarter, 14-0 Penn Hills. And why is there a whistle? Officials telling the Shaler players to move back. It's Pollock who's getting a breather. Short gain for Joey Kremer. Mason in on the tackle.
Gain of 5 on the play. Second and 5 from the 42.
It's Woods in front of Kremer. It'll be Kremer again. Gets submarined by Mason. Goes down at the 38-yard line. And that'll do it for quarter number one. After one period of play, the score, Penn Hills 14, Shaler nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Second quarter about to get underway. Shaler looking at a third and a long two. Ball just outside the Indian 38-yard line. Shaler goes under center. It's almost old-timey. Pollock will have the first down across the 35 down to the 34-yard line.
Tackled by Kerry Smith. Gain of 4. First and 10 Titans from the
Temperatures
Penn Hills
pushing 90 today. I think we're going to see a lot of substituting going on out there. Shuffle these kids in and out, get them some fluids. Gorski goes under center again. Kremer in front of Pollock. And it'll be Pollock. And he'll be stacked up at the 35, lose about 2 yards, maybe a yard.
Pollock with the carry. First hit by Blue.
Darryl Porter with the tackle.
Walker on the play, second and 11.
So Elijah Walker in. That'll be second down and 11. Shaler running up basic pro offense. They're in an I. It's Colarusso in the slot to the right. They'll fake the end around to Colarusso. Steps up, throws, has a pass complete underneath. Inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. Be close to a first down.
That is complete to Valentine. Tackled by Skip Smith.
Zach Valentine with the reception. And that'll be a first down for Shaler.
First and 10 Titans from the Penn Hills 23.
It might have been Jake Newport with the reception. The tight end to the right. Pollock the lone setback. Colarusso slot left. Split way left. Mike Battaglia. And it'll be Pollock. A little bit of a delayed handoff. Pollock fights his way down to the 21-yard line for a gain of about 3.
Tackled by Walker.
Elijah Walker with the tackle for the Indians.
Gain of 2 on the play. Second and 8.
And there's an injured Indian. Mason needs a breather. 9:56 to go, first half, 14-0 Indians. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. After the injury timeout, Shaler tries to throw. Everyone's covered, and taking off and running is Mizgorski. Did a good job getting away from the sack. And got himself down to the 16-yard line, gain of about 5. And it'll be third down and 2 for the Titans.
Third and 3 Titans from the 16.
Clock at 9:15 and running. 14-0 Penn Hills over Shaler. Pollock on the toss right. Indians are there. Finally bringing him down is George Freeman for no gain. And we're going to play fourth down for Shaler.
No gain on the play. Fourth down.
Big Deshaun Butler comes in. 310 pounds of Deshaun Butler. See him at nose. Flanked by 270 pounds of George Freeman. Zgorski rolling to his right. He's going to tuck it under. It's a quarterback keeper the whole way. Skirts the sideline. Depends on where they mark him. They can mark him out of bounds at about the 12-yard line, which will be good enough for a first down. First and 10 Titans at the, where do you mark them? At the 11. Pollock inside the 10, breaks the tackle, dives to the 6. Had he able to keep his feet, he'd have been into the end zone. Pollock slow getting up. Does get 5 yards. And he's going to work his way over to the sideline.
Second and 5, Titans from the 6.
Power eye behind Ms. Gorski. Kammerer. Hit at the 5. Dives ahead. I'm going to mark him at about the 4-yard line.
Third down and 2 from the 3-yard line.
Again, power eye, Kemmerer deep. And it'll be Kemmerer. Stacked up by Tank Smith at the line, driven down.
Kramer with the carry. There's a flag.
Penalty flag in on the play.
Gordon Mason refers him on that stop.
Tank Smith says it's against Shaler. Officials are walking that way with it.
Calls a legal procedure on Shaler. The penalty is declined. Fourth down.
Indians decline the penalty, brings up the 4th down. And Shaler will use a timeout. 6:29 to go. Second quarter. Penn Hills 14, Shaler nothing. You're watching the Indians Football Network.
Fourth down and 2.
4th and 2 for the Titans. They're going to go for it. There's Gorski from the shotgun. Under pressure. Sears the first man to get him. He gets the pass away to a lineman. And a penalty flag will come in.
Gorski's pass complete. We have a flag.
Justin Aversa caught the pass, but he's not allowed. Indians will decline the penalty. Officially comes up as an incomplete pass.
That is declined. Ball is turned over on down. Penn Hills first and 10 from the line 3.
The officials haven't quite figured out where to spot it. And there's a timeout. 6:20 to go, first half. 14-0 Indians. You're watching the Penn Hills Football Network. Indians first and 10 at their own 7-yard line. Rick Martin to pass left side from Mathis.
Mathis' pass complete to number 9.
They'll pick up about 9. Be just short of the first down. But more importantly, it keeps that clock moving.
Easy with a tackle. Gain of 9 on the play, second and 1.
Sears behind Mathis. Twins to the left. Mathis throws underneath. Looked like it was supposed to be a screen to Cephas. And unfortunately, it hit Christian Weiss from behind, and since he was the first man to touch it, that's why there's a penalty flag at the 20-yard line. He may have been a little more than 5 yards downfield as well. So they'll mark the penalty off against the Indians, and it'll be second down.
Personal foul on Penn Hills.
You know, a personal foul?
Opposition to the goal. 3rd and 7.
That still worked out to be about a 5-yard penalty for the Indians. Mathis, straight drop, looking left, going that way. Has a man behind the defense. And a pass just too far for Hardy. Hardy was there. Mathis put up that ball about 40 yards. And it brings up a 4th down for the Indians. Now, Jaden Terry back to punt once again. The Indians having snapping issues. Rodney Stubbs will come in to snap this time. High snap. Terry gets a kick away. Nice high boomer. Bobbled at the 43. And Shaler will return it down to about the 38-yard line. Adam Wegner will take it there, and Shaler will start with 5:04 to go here in quarter number 2. They have nice field position on the Penn Hills side of the 50. Oh, at the 37. They're down 14 points. And if you're joining us late, Shaler had a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, fumbled the snap. Indians recovered at the 1, and then took a 99-yard drive to go up 14-0. Nice run, Joey Kremer. Inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Kremer will rumble for 13 yards.
1st and 10 Titans from the Penn Hills 24.
Titans have a couple of nice little running backs here. The junior Kremer, 5'10", 215, and the junior Pollock, 5'9", 170. High formation, Woods in front of Kremer. Mizgorski under center.
Delay game called on Shaler.
Yeah, it looked pretty, but Shaler took too much time. Will cost him 5.
1st and 15 Titans from the 29.
Colarusso in motion this way. Shaler keeps it on the ground.
Kramer with the carry.
And Kremer
Harry Smith with the tackle.
to about the 27. Picks up about 2.
Give it 2, 2nd and 13.
Mizgorski from the shotgun. Looks right, goes that way. Pass picked off Tank Smith across the 30. Inside the 40, Mizgorski will wrap him up. Brought down also from behind from Wegner. And the Indians will take over at the 42-yard line. Second turnover for the Titans in this half.
1st and 10 Penn Hills from the Shaler 33.
And the Indians with nice field position at the Shaler 43. That one went right into the arms of Tank Smith. Mathis shotgun. Sears deep. And they're going to come this way, end around. Daquan Hardy with some room. Hardy inside the 40, inside the 30. Breaks a tackle inside the 20. Daquan Hardy inside the 15. First and goal, Indians at the 9. They're going to mark him at the 8-yard line. 35 yards for Hardy. First and goal, Indians. A cleverly designed play by Penn Hills. And Shaler will use a timeout. 3:25 to go in the half. 14-0 Indians. You're watching the Penn Hills Football Network. Halftime. Mathis in the shotgun with Sears behind him. Martin the end to the left. Shuffle pass underneath for Mason. Shaler was there. Indians will lose a yard. Martin moves the end of the right. Pistol formation. Sears deep. That's Yindy Parker to Mathis's right, and it'll be Sears. And Shaler does a nice job to stack it up for no gain.
Sears with the carry.
Clock approaching 2.5 and running here in the first half. We're going to stick with our broadcast. Coming up at halftime, you can watch the Penn Hills and Shaler Area Marching Bands right here on YouTube. Sears, right side, inside the 10. Pushes away head down to about the 7-yard line. And the Indians will have a fourth down at the 8-yard line. The way the kicking game's been going, I think the Indians will be going for it here on fourth down. Join us late, field goal kicker, Shane Meyer. It has a soccer game today. Is that a Penn Hills soccer game? Is it? Well, the Indians varsity soccer team is at Fox Chapel today. Well, Shane went to Fox Chapel, but fortunately for us, our athletic director, Steph Strauss, came here to Shaler. Oh, you did both? You did the other one already? Oh. They played. Then where's Shane? Indians call timeout, 1:45 to go, first half. They're up 14-0. Fourth down for the Indians. They'll go for it. Sears moves up, pressure from behind from Mathis, gets a pass underneath. Hardy inside the 5 to the end zone, dives. Touchdown, Penn Hills. Daquan Hardy with the hat trick.
Mathis' pass complete to Hardy for the Penn Hills touchdown.
Touchdown coming with 1:38 to go. And the Indians will set up for one. Not sure who 77 is. He's not on my roster. Kick is up. Oh my, he got it. The kick is good. And with 1:38 to go in the half, to score now Penn Hills 21. Shaler nothing here on the Indians Football Network. For the Indians. And squibs it. And it goes out of bounds.
Onside kick attempt goes out of bounds.
Shaler will take it at the 43-yard line. So Shaler with no timeout. The scoreboard says they have one timeout left. I think I've already called 4 this half. Or so it seems. Shaler now down 21. Colarusso will go down at the 40-yard line. We'll lose 3. Indians will use a timeout. And you hear the coaches yelling water. So timeout on the field. 1:28 to go in the half. 21-0 Indians here on the Penn Hills Football Network. Following the timeout, it'll be 2nd and 13 for the Titans. Ball at their own 40-yard line. They trail 21-0. Gorski under center. Hemmer. Wrapped up and brought down after a gain of about 4 yards.
Tackled by Porter.
It's Porter with the tackle. And Shaler uses their final timeout with 1:23 to go here. In half number 1, Penn Hills 21, Shaler nothing. Third down for the Titans following the timeout. Shaler's going to throw. Gorski rolls to his right, tripped up from behind, and he'll be sacked. Devin Best got the paw in. Lose 9 yards on the sack. I think that's one case where Indians may have been better off had Gorski taken it outside and run out of bounds because he would have stopped the clock. But with the sack, Shaler will have to punt, but the clock continues to run. And another whistle. I think the officials are... Not sure if the officials are trying to reset the game clock. Has 47 seconds on the scoreboard. I mean, they were pointing something up at the scoreboard. Or excuse me, the press box on the opposite side. Nonetheless, now we will punt. Brandon Burdick back for the Titans. Anthony Grimes back for the Indians. Indians come. Grimes from the 37-yard line tries to get to the outside. That gets tripped up and goes down. And another penalty flag comes in. Indians will have the ball with 32 seconds left in the half.
Tripped up by Aversa on the play. Flag on the field.
Indians are going to be called for a block in the back. So the Indians will start at their own 30, have 32 seconds, no timeouts. Clock does stop on a first down. Shaler gets the ball to start half number 2, so the Indians looking to try to add some more on here. Mathis will throw. Of course he will. In the pass, they try to set up a wide receiver screen to Grimes.
Pass was intended for Terry Smith. Second and 10.
Ball's incomplete. It'll be second down and 10, but there's only 29 seconds left in the half. Mathis throwing over the middle, has a man. Pass complete at the 50-yard line in Shaler territory. Is Grimes. Will go down at the 48-yard line. 22 yards on the reception. And Indians are going to run another play here. They're not going to spike it.
Flag on the field.
And another penalty flag. Surprised the Indians didn't come up to do the spike. The procedure penalty will mark it back to the Indian 47-yard line. Clock is running now at 10. Martin was over the middle. The pass was incomplete. Now with 5 seconds to go, the Indians are going to have to be looking end zone here from midfield.
Second down and 15.
Mathis with the protection. Rolls to his left. Throws underneath. Grimes looking for somewhere to go. Grimes breaking some tackles, gets down to the 30-yard line. On the final play of the half, the Indians pick up 23 yards. And a first down, but the clock will expire. And after one half of play, the score, Penn Hills 21, Shaler nothing. You are watching the Indians Football Network. Second half action about to get underway here at Shaler Titans Stadium. Score Penn Hills 21, Shaler nothing. The Indians kicking off. Shaler from their own 22-yard line. That's Adam Wegner. And Wegner will get out to the 35. Couple of stats from the first half. Total yardage, Penn Hills 275 to Shaler's 95. Indians 210 in the air, 65 on the ground. Shaler 61 yards rushing, 34 yards passing.
First and 10 Titans from their own 34.
Hollis Mathis, 3 touchdown passes. Daquan Hardy, 3 touchdown receptions. Shaler comes out with the trickeration on the first play. Open was Mike Battaglia, but Brian Colarusso couldn't get the pass down to him. Looked like Shaler had the Indians fooled. Cephas was on the coverage. So Colarusso's pass just a bit too far. And Battaglia unable to catch up to it. And around. And the Indians are there. Dan Mason will drop Battaglia for a big loss back at the 24-yard line. They're going to give him momentum to the 25.
Loss of 9 on the play, 3rd and 19 from the 25.
So they'll lose 10. It'll be 3rd and 25. Just threw that one away. Nobody in the area. They're going to call grounding. Yes, they will. Gorski had a lot of Indians in front of him and no Titans downfield. Oh, they're going to pick up the flag. I didn't see anybody within 10 yards. So Shaler to punt from inside their own 15. Shaler gets a kick away. Nice booming kick. Grimes at his own 43-yard line, looks for a lane, gets to the outside, and we'll go down in Shaler territory at the 46-yard line. Indians will take over with 10:42 to go here in quarter number 3. They're up 21, and they start off in Shaler territory at the 46-yard line. Injured Indian, 10:42 to go. 21-0 Indians. You're watching the Penn Hills Football Network.
First and 10, Penn Hills from the Texas 46.
Indians come out in the pistol. Donnie Blue to Mathis's right. It's going to be Tank Smith right up the gut. Penalty flag comes in. And they're going to throw this one on Roland Phillips again.
Tackled by Moore. Flag on the play. Colors voting on Penn Hills. First and 18 now for Penn Hills from the 146.
Same formation, Blue to Mathis's right, Tank behind. That'll be Tank again, looking for somewhere to go. Pushes ahead for a couple.
Smith with the carry, tackled by Moore. Gain of 2. Second and 16.
Inside handoff. Tank with another penalty flag.
Smith again with the carry. Tackled by Aversa. Flag on the play. Holding again on Penn Hills.
Another holding call against the Indians. And the Indians, original line of gain is at the 46-yard line, 47-yard line of Shaler, are now back at their own 37.
Second down, 21.
Swing pass right side, too far for Tim Smith. And that's going to bring up third and over 20 for the Indians. Hardy and Grimes will split to Mathis's right. Tim Smith will be behind Hollis. Mason, the end of the near side. And another penalty flag comes in. It's the referee show today.
Legal procedure on Penn Hills.
Clearly, the Indians will be needing to work on their penalties going into next week's contest
30-31.
against Seneca Valley. Mathis, throw back this way to Mason on the screen. Nice setup. Mason needs some blocks. Be well short of the first down. Gets out to the 50-yard line.
Tackled by Scully.
Indians pick up 19 on the play. It'll be 4th and about 14.
4th and 14 now for Penn Hills. Penn Hills with confirmation. Wenger, deep to receive.
Indians will kick. Jaden Terry back. Indians have a couple of linemen doing the kicking duties today. And a nice boomy kick. Picked up at the 10-yard line by Shaler. And the Indians cover it nicely. Shaler will start at their own 13. 8:53 to go. Third quarter. Penn Hills 21. Shaler nothing. You're watching the Indians Football Network.
First and 10 from the 13.
Adam Wagner, the punt returner, the injured Titan. And Shaler wants to take this right to the Indians.
The ball carrier.
But Kremer will go nowhere.
On the play by Porter.
Porter with the tackle for the Indians, and it'll be second down
Loss of 3 on the play.
at the 10-yard line. They lose 3 yards, 2nd and 13. And he's got to be thinking turnover here, at least hoping for one. Pass for Kremer underneath, complete. Cephas with the initial contact. Tank finally knocks him out of bounds, just shy of the 20-yard line. We'll give him 10 on the reception, and it's 3rd and 3 now for the Titans. Clock at 8 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Shaler trying to throw, gets the pass away, and a pass too high. And a late penalty flag will come in. Why not? Sikorsky got the pass away. It was intended to Jake Miller. It was too high. Roughing the passer against the Indians. So the 15 yards keeps the drive alive for Shaler.
First and 10 Titans from their own 35.
Kremer hitting the backfield. They may give him a yard.
Kremer with the carry, tackled by Mason.
Mason on the tackle. Also Lookman, Lahiju Dean, Jamel Ward, and Daryl Porter.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 from the 36.
Kremer again. Wrapped up by Devin Best by the feet, and Jamel Ward will come in and finish him off. Picks up 4 to be 3rd and 5 now for Shaler, and we have an injury timeout. 6:54 to go, third quarter. 21-7 Indians. You're watching the Penn Hills Football Network. Following the injury timeout, Shaler with a 3rd and 5 at their own 40-yard line. They're down by 21.
3rd and 5 from their own 40 for the Titans.
Titans will be at Butler next week. Pass tipped, caught. Porter there for the tackle. Matt Bendel with the reception. They'll lose 2. And it'll bring up a 4th down. Butler will be hosting Shaler next week. Indians coming into this contest 3-1. Lost last week to Pine Richland. Winners over Plum, Butler, and Cannon Mac. Indians in a huge contest Friday night to take on the Raiders of Seneca Valley. And Shaler will use a timeout. 6:07 to go, third quarter. Penn Hills 21, Shaler's nothing. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Shaler gets the punt away high. Fair catch, called for and made by Grimes at the 32-yard line. Indians will start their second possession of the game, or excuse me, of the half. With 6:01 to go here in quarter number 3, they'll have the ball at their own 32-yard line. Indians, 116 yards in penalties thus far. They do have 290 yards in offense. Indians had a couple touchdowns called back, long touchdowns called back because of penalties.
There's a set of keys found in the men's restaurant. They are yours. They are up in the press box.
Grimes with the reception near side across the 35.
Pass complete to Grimes. Tackled by Kilgore.
Grimes will pick up about 5.
Second and 7 from the 36.
And Shaler jumps off sides. They're coming with the blitz, but Parker Kilgore couldn't hold up.
Calls offside on Shaler. Second and 1 from the 31.
And another penalty flag comes in. Timmy Smith with a nice carry down inside the 30-yard line, but a penalty flag back at the 40. So Smith will get credit for 24 yards instead of the 34.
Those holding on Penn Hills. The result is first down and 10 for Penn Hills.
So then you have a first and 10 at 50 at the 50-yard line, just on their side of the stripe. I call this one against the Indians.
Indians have a first and 15 from their 45.
Tank trying to find a hole. Why are they blowing the whistle when Hank is still moving here?
Miller with a tackle.
The Tank will pick up 5 yards. He was still fighting his way ahead, and they were blowing the whistle. I don't know, temperatures out there. Tempers are also flaring. Screen pass underneath the blue. Defended nicely by Shaler. Indians only pick up about 2 yards. Be third down and about 9 for the Indians. Bad sign for the Titans. See Jake Pollock on crutches on the far side of the field, on a crutch. Has that left ankle taped. Mathis from the shotgun. Under pressure, gets the pass away. It's caught by Hardy! Inside the 10! Touchdown, Penn Hills! Mathis took a shot as he got rid of the ball. And Mathis does get up. Hardy's 4th touchdown reception. Mathis's 4th touchdown pass. Indians now up 27-0, trying to point after here. Touchdown coming with 3:42 to go in quarter number 3. And there goes our BIG chant by our cheerleaders. And Tyree Van Alstyne.
Calls on sportsmanlike conduct on Penn Hills.
They're calling on sportsmanlike conduct against the Indians. They're going to march that off on the kickoff. High snap, gets the kick away. And the kick is good. 3:42 to go here, third quarter. Penn Hills 28, Shaler nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. The officials marching it back to the 30, to the 25, 15-yard penalty for the unsportsmanlike conduct. Indians will kick off from there. You know, it'd be just crazy, an onside kick from here.
Dallas team will kick off.
And Alstein's with the short kickoff. Bounces, goes out of bounds at the 49. Titans will take over there. Or do they get it even closer? I don't know. If I'm Shaler, I'd make them re-kick. I mean, they can't seem to get a kick in bounds. I'm kick it from the 20. Kramer to Ms. Gorski's right. Ms. Gorski under pressure, steps up in the pocket. Yeah, we'll get maybe a yard.
Keeps the ball. Best with a tackle.
Evan Best brings him down.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Kramer. Stacked up, finally brought down. Did a nice job to pick up the 3 that he did. Lokman Lahijudeen with the tackle for the Indians.
Tackled by Gary Smith. Third and 6 now for the Titans from the 47.
Zgorski launching one down the sideline. Has a man behind the fence. Pass caught. First down. Shaler just outside the 10-yard line to mark him at the 11. That was Battaglia with the reception. Pick up about 35 yards. A couple times now they've had Battaglia behind the defense. It's the first time they've been able to connect.
From the 11.
Kramer tries to get to the outside, but Tim Smith comes up and says, no. He'll lose about 5 yards. Push him back to the 16. Clock running, approaching 90 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. 28-0 Penn Hills on this scorching Saturday afternoon. Homecoming for Shaler. That's why they moved the game to Saturday. We were the fortunate ones to be on the schedule for today. Swing pass left side, unable to hook up. Zgorski and Woods. As I said, you'd have to kind of look into the record books to see the last time the Indians played at Shaler. In 24 seasons, this is my first visit here. Zgorski throwing one towards the end zone. Pass too far. Colarusso did a nice job to try to stretch out for it. That pass just too deep. Now 4th down for Shaler. Clock stops with 1:07 to go. Here, quarter number 3. Zgorski had a man open, but he just overthrew Bendel. And there's a penalty flag back at the 26-yard line. Are they going to call roughing the passer? Yes, they are. So the Indians keep the drive alive. Unfortunately, it's the Titans' drive they keep alive.
First and goal, Titans from the 8.
Kremer to the 5.
Kramer with the carry. Kramer with the tackle, gain of 3. Second and goal from the 5. Correction ball on the 6.
Zagorski throwing right side end zone. Colarusso, touchdown Shaler. So Shaler gets their first points on the board with 17 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Point after is good. 17 seconds to go. Third quarter. Penn Hills 28, Shaler 7. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. So Shaler gets the onside kick. And we'll start at the Indian 39-yard line. Excuse me, there's the 44. Indians looked like they were expecting it. It came, but the Indians just couldn't seem to fall on the football. Credit Shaler. Onside kicks aren't successful very often. They're just able to pull it off there. Zagorski launching one right side. Colarusso behind the defense again. Dylan Bennett was on the coverage. But Colarusso's been getting behind the Indian defense, but Zagorski's been unable to hit him. They just haven't been able to connect. They have one time which set up the Shaler touchdown moments ago.
Second and 10 from the 44.
Kremer looking to get to the outside, does. Gets hit by Martin, who's slow to get up. Get down to the 39. We're going to mark with the 39. We'll mark with the 39. Picks up about 5. Mark with the 33. So to pick up of 11. And a first down for Shaler. And we'll have an injury timeout. 2 seconds remaining, third quarter. Penn Hills 28, Shaler 7. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Martin with the cramp comes off.
That concludes our third quarter of play.
And officials let the quarter run out. After 3, Penn Hills 28, Shaler 7. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Fourth quarter, about to get underway. Titans trail by 21. They have the ball, and then in Indian territory. First down to 33. Kramer will get down to about the 30.
Mary Smith with the stop. Gain of 3, second and 7 from the 30.
Zagorski will throw, launch you one. Has a man, the pass is too far.
Zagorski's pass intended for Wenger. Flag on the play.
Wenger was the intended receiver, and there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Personal foul, blow to the head.
Personal foul called on Penn Hills.
So the Titans with a first down at the 15-yard line. Trying to make a game of it here. We're down 28-7 here in quarter number 4. There's Gorski. Flushed, rolled. Gets the pass away. Pass complete to Kremer. Ends up losing about 2 yards on the play.
Loss of 1, second and 11 from the 16.
Kremer tries to find somewhere to go. The only place he has to go is in the arms of Indians. Porter and Mason will stack him up at the line for no gain. That'll bring up a third down and 12 for the Titans. And Shaler uses a timeout. 9:43 to go, fourth quarter. Penn Hills 28, Shaler 7. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Titans with a third down and 12. Ball inside the Indian 20. Play action, and Mizgorski will be sacked by Mason. Back at the 26-yard line, loss of 9. That brings a fourth down and long for Shaler. They'll go for it. They need to get inside the 5-yard line. Gorski has the protection, launching one down the sideline. And the pass too far. Colarusso, the intended receiver. And Shaler will turn the ball over on downs unless there's another penalty flag, which I do not see. So the Indians will take over. 8:53 to go in the game. And the ball at their own 25-yard line.
First and 10, Penn Hills from their own 25.
Ball line of scrimmage will be the 26. And we'd love to see a heavy dose of some running here. Mathis comes out in an empty set. Smith on the jet. This side across the 30, the 35, 40. Timmy Smith up the sideline, 50, 40. Pushed out of bounds in Shaler territory after a nice pickup down to the 33-yard line. "42-yard run by Smith.
First and 10, Penn Hills from the Shaler 33.
Mathis will throw. Swing pass, tipped. And then Grimes will be tackled after the play. Nothing called.
Atkinson's pass, tipped by Miller at the line of scrimmage. Second and 10.
Clock stops with 8:39 to go. Mathis keeps it himself, down to the 30 for about 3.
Tackled by Moore. In the forward, 3rd and 6.
Mathis will throw. Indians cover the blitz nicely. Swing pass. Had Martin out in the flat. Mathis rushed a little bit, threw a little short. That brings up a 4th down for the Indians, who will go for it at the 30-yard line. Van Alstyne has been hitting the extra points. Not sure he's going to hit a 47-yarder. Mathis to Mason inside the 10. Mason on the quick slant will give the Indians a 1st and goal at the 5. Nicely designed play. Just hit Mason on the quick slant. And he took off a running. It's about a 5-yard completion, about 20 extra yards on the run. And Shaler will use a timeout. 7:35 to go, 4th quarter. Penn Hills 28, Shaler 7. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Tank gets submarined. Spins ahead, able to get back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. On that pass to Mason, just moments ago for the 1st and goal. Hollis Mathis now 306 passing yards today. Had an up in for a couple of Indians penalties on some touchdown passes. It would have been over 400 yards today. Mathis into the end zone. Too far for everybody. And a penalty flag. This one going to get our way. We're going to roughing the passer call against Shaler. So it's going to be about a 3-yard penalty, but it's going to be a 1st down. Mathis shuffle pass, Mason, touchdown. First touchdown today, not scored by Daquan Hardy. Mathis' 5th touchdown of the game. And Van Alstyne to try the point after again. High snap. They'll throw the fire. Grimes looking into the end zone. Oh, just through the hands
2-point conversion attempt is no good.
of Elijah Walker.
It was Grimes and Tennessee Walker.
Pass fails, and with 6:48 to go, fourth quarter, the score, Penn Hills 34, Shaler 7. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Van Alstyne to kick off once again. Nice boot this time. And Shaler will watch it roll out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
Kickoff goes out of bounds.
I think Shaler will take it at the 40. Get it to 35.
First and 10 Titans from their own 35.
Kramer with a big hole this way across the 40. Be just shy of the first down at the 44-yard line. Picks up 9.
Kramer with the carry. And he missed with the tackle.
Mentioned earlier, Jake Pollock of
Gain
the
of 9, second and
Shaler
1.
Titans out with an injury. Hunter Zakowski started this game at quarterback for Shaler. That was the first couple series, and it's been all Darren Wisgorski.
Woods with the carry.
Couple yards for Woods, but he'll have the first down.
Newton exchange with the tackle. First and 10 Titans, number 47.
Wisgorski is going to throw. Rolls right, throws underneath. And he short hops Woods.
Tennessee Woods.
He faked the inside handoff on the end around to Colarusso. Rolled to his right. He had Woods out in the flat, but just short hopped him. Brings up a second down. Clock will stop with 5:35 to go here in this contest. Again, the Indians will be at home Friday night to take on the Raiders of Seneca Valley in a huge matchup. It's huge. It's huge. Wisgorski under center. Kremer gets stacked up by Donnie Blue.
Kramer with the carry. East with the tackle.
Brings up third and long now for Shaler.
Gain of 1.
Clock approaching 5 minutes and running here in quarter number 4. Wisgorski rolling to his right. Chased. Gets the pass away. Throws it away.
First pass to Tennessee Woods.
Getting pressure from Lukman Lahijuddin.
4th and 9.
Now it's fourth down for the Titans. Clock stops with 4:48 to go.
Titans in punt formation. Right keeps to receive.
Low snap. Shaler gets the punt away. It's going to roll inside the 10. Picked up there and brought down inside the 5. Not quite sure what Jaden White was thinking, unless he had touched it prior. But the Indians will have it at the 6-yard line with 4:37 to go. It was a good punt indeed. So Hollis Mathis's day is done. Indians are going to send out the clean jersey, so to speak. Rodney Stubbs will come in at quarterback for the Indians. Dylan Bennett gets wrapped up and thrown down.
Bennett with the carry.
He'll lose a yard. Back to the 5-yard line. I think at this point the Indians are more concerned with running the clock. I think they're going to be telling Rodney, snap the ball with like 2 seconds, 1 or 2 seconds left on that play clock. Bennett, lone setback behind Stubbs, who's going to throw. Pass caught this side. Spinning across the 10-yard line, down to about the 12. Is Don Burden. Burden will pick up about 7 yards, but the Indians will have a 3rd and 4. Injury timeout on the field, 3:35 to go, 4th quarter. Penn Hills 34, Shaler 7. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Cheerleaders still fighting on. Indians with a 3rd down and about 4. Pass complete to Burden across the 25, out at the 28-yard line. 15 yards on the reception. And a first down for the Indians. I was about to chide them for snapping the ball with like 22 seconds on the play clock.
First and 10, Penn Hills from their own 28.
But after all, you know, these kids do have the right to have an opportunity to go out there and do things. Instead of just try to kill the clock, go out and make some plays. Fake to Bennett. New quarterback in, throwing underneath, too high and too far. That's Eddie McKissick, the quarterback.
McKissick's pass intended for.
It was intended for Murad Taha.
Flag on the field.
Penalty flag on the far side. Clock stopped with 3:01 to go, and this one's going to go against the Indians for blocking the back.
Ball is holding on Penn Hills.
Eddie McKissick, the 6-foot sophomore.
First down and 25.
Pass almost intercepted on the near side. It was intended for Snell, but I don't think that Wegner expected that pass to hit him right in the hands. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 25. Stubbs comes back in.
Second down, 25.
Clock stops with 2:44 to go. Stubbs rolling this way. Looking, throws underneath. Pass complete across the 20. Down to the 23-yard line.
Pass complete to Snell.
Came Snell with the reception.
Tackled by Miller. 2 Laurels doing on that stop. Third and 14 for Penn Hills. Ball on the 24.
Indians 3rd and 14. Stubbs directing the traffic. And the Indians jumped.
Full start on Penn Hills. Third and 19 for Penn Hills as a result of that penalty. Ball on the 19.
Clock approaching a minute and a half to go here in quarter number 4. Stubbs throws left side, and the pass almost to a pair of 15s. It was almost a pick 6. It was intended for Snell. Brendan Few stepped in front of it, but the ball went through his hands. Otherwise, that was 6 for Shaler. And the Indians will bring on the punt team with 1:20 to go.
Penn Hills in confirmation. Hughes keeps to receive.
Indians get the kick away high, short. Hits it to 49, takes a Shaler bounce, and Indians will down it at the 44-yard line. 1:11 to go, fourth quarter. Penn Hills 34, Shaler 7. You're watching the Indians Football Network. Kramer gets back to the line of scrimmage. Clock under a minute and running. Mathis 5 touchdown passes tonight, 4 to Hardy, 1 to Mason. Indians will move to 4-1 on the season, heading into next week's matchup with Seneca Valley. And around, Cephalo this way. Side the 40. Has a first down, spins, nice carry. Nice run by Colarusso.
He was brought down by Montgomery.
22 yards and a first down for Shaler. Clock stops for the moment with 21 seconds, and now it begins to run after he set the sticks. Gorski rolling to his right, throwing one into the end zone, and the pass incomplete. And that'll do it. The time runs out. Final score, Penn Hills 34, Shaler 7. Indians got it going quickly early. 3 plays on the opening drive. Hardy, 33-yard pass from Mathis. First quarter ended 6-0 Indians, and then the Indians put a couple up on the second quarter. Hardy, a 35-yarder from Mathis, and then Hardy, an 8-yard from Mathis. It was 21-0 at halftime. Indians went up 28-0 on Hardy's 48-yarder from Mathis. Shaler cut the lead to 28-7, but then in quarter number 4, Mason on in the 2-yard shuffle pass from Mathis, his 5th of the game. Mathis' first touchdown of the game. Indians go up 34-7. And that's the way this one ended. Again, the Indians move to 4-1 on the season. Huge matchup Friday night at the Chuck at Uhas McGinley Stadium against the Seneca Valley Raiders. Once again, your final score from Shaler Titans Stadium. The Penn Hills Indians 34. The Shaler Area Titans 7. I'm Bill Navari for my producer Helen, for my cameraman Bernard Mathis. We thank you all very much for joining us on this hot Saturday afternoon here on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network.